For centuries, the cities of Europe were defined by ancient cathedrals and cobblestone streets. While the rest of the world raced to touch the clouds, the European Union stood its ground, banning tall buildings to protect its history. But in 2026, the rules have been shattered. A massive wave of vertical urbanism is sweeping across the continent, turning old world capitals into glass and steel forests. From the sun-drenched beaches of Cyprus to the frozen ports of Sweden, we are counting down the 10 nations leading this vertical revolution. But why did the #1 country on our list decide to build 2 separate towers and then join them together with bridges? And how did they manage to hide the biggest skyscraper cluster in Europe just a few miles from the most famous landmarks on Earth? You will find out who the undisputed king of the European skyline is by the end of this video. Number 10. We start our countdown with a fast-paced look at the emerging giants of Eastern Europe, Bulgaria and Slovakia. For a long time, these countries were known for their low-rise history, but that is ending today. In Bulgaria, the city of Sofia is watching the Sky Fort reach its final height of 202.2 meters. This building is a giant glass arch that welcomes people to the city through its southeast gate, featuring 18 high-speed elevators and a 2-level restaurant at the summit. Meanwhile, just across the border, Slovakia has officially entered the skyscraper era with the Eurovia Tower in Bratislava. Reaching 168 meters, it stands as the first true skyscraper in the nation's history, anchoring a massive riverside project that is repositioning the city as a modern vertical hub. Leaving the riverbanks of Bratislava for the sparkling blue waters of the Mediterranean, we find a small nation with big ambitions. Number 9. Cyprus. Do not let the size of this island fool you. Cyprus is undergoing one of the most rapid vertical transformations on the planet. As of early 2026, the city of Limassol has 3 skyscrapers over 150 meters. The most famous is a tower called One, which stands at 170 meters and holds the title of the tallest seafront residential building in all of Europe. These buildings are not just for show. They are engineering marvels designed to survive the intense Mediterranean heat with advanced shading systems and luxury sky gardens. Limassol is being called the Mediterranean Miami, and with projects like the Trilogy West Tower also reaching 170 meters, the skyline is only going to get taller. Moving from the warm Mediterranean breeze to the sub-zero temperatures and high-velocity winds of the north, we arrive in Scandinavia. Number 8. Sweden. Sweden has long been a leader in modern design, but now they are leading in height too. The country has 3 skyscrapers over 150 meters, and the current king is Karla Tornet in Gothenburg. Standing at 246 meters, it is the tallest building in Scandinavia, officially surpassing the famous Turning Torso in Malmö. Building this monster was a structural nightmare. Because it sits right on the coast, engineers had to use massive concrete outriggers and specially designed belt walls to stop the tower from swaying in the fierce Nordic gales. In the summer of 2026, the public will finally be able to visit the Gothenburg View observation deck on the 69th floor to see for miles over the Swedish coast. From the windy ports of Gothenburg, we head to the heart of the continent, to a city that built a vertical forest to save its ancient history. Number 7. Austria. Vienna is world famous for its palaces and music, but it is also home to 4 massive skyscrapers over 150 meters. If you visit today, you will notice something strange. All the towers are grouped together in one single district called Donau City. This was a deliberate choice by city planners to keep the historic center of Vienna untouched, while still allowing for modern growth. The star of the show is DC Tower 1, a 220-meter shard of glass with a jagged black surface that looks like a waterfall frozen in time, but the district is still growing. In early 2026, the completion of DC Tower 2 at 175 meters has added a new slender companion to the skyline. This whole district is built on a transit-oriented model, meaning you can step out of a skyscraper and directly onto the metro without ever needing a car. But stay tuned, because later on we will look at why number 3 had to use a massive spire just to keep its record. Traveling down the modern transit lines of Europe to the flat, innovative plains of the Dutch coast, we reach the architectural laboratory of the world. Number 6. Netherlands. The Dutch have 8 skyscrapers over 150 meters, and almost every single one of them is in the city of Rotterdam. Because Rotterdam was almost completely destroyed in the Second World War, it became a blank canvas for the world's most daring architects. The current leader is the Zalmhaven at 215 meters. But the Dutch are not just building high, they are building smart. One of their most fascinating projects involves taking a historic post office and building a 155-meter glass tower right on top of it. It is a mix of old and new that shows how Europe can grow vertically without forgetting its past. Crossing the border into a country where the skyscrapers are treated like vertical art galleries, we arrive in the fashion capital of the world. Number 5. Italy. When you think of Italy, you think of ruins and history, but Milan is changing that narrative fast. Italy has 8 skyscrapers over 150 meters, and they are nearly all concentrated in the modern districts of Porta Nuova and City Life. The tallest is the Unicredit Tower, reaching 231 meters. But here is a secret. A huge portion of that height comes from an 80-meter spire. Without it, the tower would be much shorter. But Italy is about beauty, not just height. Their towers are designed by architects like Zaha Hadid, featuring twisting glass shapes that look more like sculptures than office blocks. Wait until we get to number 1, where you will see a building that is actually 2 towers pretending to be one. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the clouds, kindly like and subscribe to join our community of mega build enthusiasts. Leaving the Italian art galleries behind, we travel to the sunny plains of the Iberian Peninsula. Number 4. Spain. Spain has 13 skyscrapers over 150 meters, and they have a very unique strategy. They have 2 different types of verticality. In Madrid, you have the Four Towers business area, which stands like a fortress of glass at the end of the city's main boulevard. These include giants like the Torre de Cristal at 249 meters. But then there is Benidorm, a coastal town that has more high-rises per person than almost anywhere else on Earth. Spain is even innovating the purpose of skyscrapers. Their newest addition, the Calado Tower, is not just for offices. It is a vertical campus for a university and a medical center, showing that life in the sky can be about more than just work. Now we head to the most aggressive and fast-growing skyline in Central Europe. Number 3. Poland. Poland is the vertical vanguard of the East with 16 skyscrapers over 150 meters. Warsaw has completely transformed itself, and the undisputed king is the Warsaw Tower. At 310 meters, it is officially the tallest building in the entire European Union. But there is a massive debate about this building. Critics say it only reached that height because of a massive spire, which some call a cheat code to beat the towers of Germany. Despite the drama, Poland is not stopping. Even secondary cities like Rzeszów are now getting towers like Olszynki Park, which at 220 meters is now the tallest residential building in the country. Poland is building a vertical future at a pace that few others can match. Moving west to the financial engine of Europe, we reach a city that is basically a mini Manhattan. Number 2, Germany. Germany has 21 skyscrapers over 150 meters, and almost all of them are in Frankfurt. This city is the only place in Germany where towers are allowed in the urban core, creating a skyline so dense it is called Mainhattan. The deep dive for Germany involves a project called 4. This is a massive engineering feat where 4 separate skyscrapers are being built at the exact same time on a single city block. To make it happen sustainably, the team recycled 37,000 tons of concrete from the old bank buildings that used to sit on the site. It is a vertical city where you can live, work, and go to a fitness studio all within the same glass complex. It is the perfect example of how to fit a vertical neighborhood into a crowded city center. Now, before we reveal the number 1 country with the most skyscrapers, let's look at a wild card. Greece. Right now, Greece has no buildings over 150 meters, but that is about to change. The Ellinikon project in Athens is the largest urban regeneration project in Europe. At its heart is the Riviera Tower, a 200-meter green skyscraper covered in plants that will stand as an icon of the new Athenian Riviera. By 2027, Greece will jump straight into the top of these rankings. Finally, we have reached the summit. The country with the most skyscrapers in the European Union is France. With 27 skyscrapers over 150 meters, France is the undisputed champion. But they did not do it by building all over Paris. Instead, they concentrated almost everything into a single high-rise neighborhood called La Défense. It is a forest of 60 skyscrapers just outside the city limits. The newest member of the family is the Link. This building is a game changer. Standing at 242 meters, it is the new tallest skyscraper in France. But it is not just one tower. It is two separate wings, the Arche and Seine towers, connected by 35 physical platforms or links. This creates a horizontal verticality where people can walk between the towers on every level, often using stairs instead of elevators to move through their workday. France has successfully balanced its love for history with a massive vertical future, proving that you do not have to choose between the Eiffel Tower and the modern world. If you found this look at the EU rising skylines fascinating, you have to see our next deep dive into the global giants in our video on the top 5 countries with the most skyscrapers.